Today I want to share an energy update that I recently received from these Lemurian guides that I've been working with, and this is an update about my energy forecast that they gave me for 2023. And if you haven't watched my 2023 Lemurian energy forecast, I'll link it below so you can help create better context for what I'm going to share. Back in that forecast, these Lemurian guides were showing me the images of flowing streams and rivers, winding rivers, flowing streams. This was the metaphor, or one of the big themes for this year, that after the last 3 years of pandemic and challenges and upheaval, things were going to begin flowing much more smoothly starting this year. Actually, it started back in December. And these guides were showing me that during this year, there were going to be 3 major phases of energy that we could look forward to. The first one being kind of very slow and steady and kind of just getting out of the gate, just starting. And that the second phase would be a point where we would feel the momentum picking up. We would feel the energies flowing faster and smoother as we were gaining speed and momentum. Well, that inflection point for the second phase happened at the full moon that we just recently had in March. At the time of the full moon, this is when the energies began to shift, and the image they gave me was manual transmission, driving a car, shifting from first to second gear. You know that in first gear you can move along, but it's not very satisfying, it's not very comfortable. You're just getting going. It's only when you shift to second that you start to feel, okay, we're moving now. Well, energetically across the globe and with human consciousness, we are now in that second gear, faster moving phase. So this is just a heads up that the energies are shifting and things are moving faster. You might have already started feeling it in your own life a little bit, maybe a little bit more clarity, things coming together, decisions or plans kind of either wrapping up or changing, but in some way shifting into a new gear. Either like, okay, it's done, we're going to leave that behind because we're now moving into something new, or what you're in the midst of starts evolving and moving faster. Hopefully that makes sense. Little side note, these guides that started giving me this information near the end of last year, they felt Lemurian to me, and I realized eventually that this was a council of 6 very wise high-level beings, and they form a council. And so, that was interesting. It's like, these 6 beings are a council. They work together, and they said that they were the keepers of Lemurian wisdom and that they had been called the teachers of teachers. Now, I don't have a great name for this council yet because I get this feeling about this very high level of wisdom and spiritual understanding. Definitely a high wisdom council, but human language still feels limiting, so I don't want to give them a label because everything that I've played with just feels too limiting. But here's something else that's interesting that I tapped into is this council is way older than just Lemuria and just keepers of Lemurian wisdom. If I'm getting my messages clearly, and I hope I am, this council has been overseeing the evolution of consciousness on this planet forever. And I'm just using forever because I don't know how to measure time in the way that's meaningful, but they've been around way before Lemuria and are still active now. One of their roles has been wisdom keepers of Lemuria, but they have a much larger role to play. So I was kind of thrilled and a little daunted to tap into that aspect of these beings. So as I learn more, I'll definitely pass some along. So this council I'm taking them a little bit more seriously, to be honest, because I'm kind of feeling the depth and the breadth of their understanding and their point of view, looking at our human lifetime in the context of the evolution of consciousness on this planet as a whole. So getting back to this second phase, they said one of the most important things is to just realize and be aware that the energies are shifting, because just with that awareness, you start to notice or feel things a little bit differently just because you've expanded your consciousness and your awareness. But they said just being aware of it is not, that's not the end of the story. So it's not just, oh, that's interesting, I'm just going to kick back and just let this energy do its thing with me. That's not the best approach, and that's not what they're recommending. They're recommending that you actually consciously allow yourself to flow, that try to connect with the momentum and the power of those streams of energy that are moving through the earth plane, moving through human consciousness at this time. So your conscious awareness, but also conscious choice to take advantage of these energies. So that was one thing they suggested. The other thing is there are a couple of things that you can actively start thinking about or practicing as we move deeper into these energies. The first one is they're suggesting that we find a way in our own lives of just being comfortable and accepting of where we are. So wherever you are in your life in terms of your relationships or your career, your journey through a health challenge toward wellness, whatever it is, wherever you are right now in this moment, find a way of just accepting it. Stop complaining or worrying about your progress. Just let all that go and just be accepting. It doesn't mean you have to accept what's already manifested as all you're going to get. They want us to stop fighting against it, because every time we complain or worry about how things are manifesting in our lives, how we're evolving, anytime that we worry or fight against it, we slow it down. We get in our own way. So they're just saying whatever you need to do, just find a way of accepting the fact that whatever you have in your life right now, in every area, it's old news. It's already manifested. These streams of energy are taking us downstream. They're going to take us where we want to go, but we have to stop fighting against the current and just be okay with where we are. That's the first thing. Is stop fighting the current. Stop fighting the stream. Okay? And the second suggestion is they would like us to practice feeling good about things. And this has come up so many times just in the last week, where I find myself focusing on, oh, that's not finished, or I didn't do that quite well, or whatever. I mean, just this endless, I was focusing on the minute percentage of things that were not going well or not complete to my satisfaction, rather than, and this is what the council would like us to do, rather than focusing on the 99.9% of stuff that's going really well in my life. And if I take a step back and focus on that, yes, the vast majority of my life experience is all going well. It's something to celebrate and appreciate and honor. And that's what they want us to do. Find things to think about and focus on that generate that feeling of appreciation or fulfillment. Things that are going, just acknowledging that, hey, this is going well. This is going better than I expected. This is on autopilot. Just like, the vast majority, 99.9% of your body is functioning as designed, perfectly well, managing your energetic balance, managing your well-being. It's only when you focus on those small things, those small percentages of things that aren't going the way you want to, that you start to affect your entire apparatus, is because you're focusing on the worst 0.5% of what's going on in your body, and then you just amplify it and start experiencing all sorts of things. So we can stop complaining, worrying, stressing about where we are, and just accept it. This is already manifested. There's nothing I can do about it. It's better to look downstream toward the future, but also consciously practice feeling good about things that are going well, things that you do appreciate. And we all have things we appreciate in our lives, but most of us are raised in a society or in an environment where we're taught to focus on the thing that's not going well. I mean, that's what the news is. The news is the worst 1 or 2% of what's going on the planet, not the 98, 99% that's going really, really well. So that's the update. This full moon in March, we've shifted into a new gear. Things are flowing faster and smoother, and the energy is there for you. You can step into the stream. You can step into the stream and let it carry you. Be aware that it's there, but also be aware that there are things that you can do, just small things you can start practicing on a daily basis to make that flow easier, to lighten your load so that you move down this glorious stream of energy faster, more efficiently, more joyfully toward all those things that you know in your heart that you want. Thanks for tuning in. I'm David, and until next time, I send you my love and bright blessings from Lemuria. Aloha.